So if there were more predictability, if there were more certainty, how does that drive decisions at a very senior executive level, at a global level, as you're looking out over the landscape of thinking competitively, the pressures that are on you to create profits and to add value to shareholders and so forth? What does predictability from a bureaucratic point of view mean? And can you also walk us through some of the tax decisions that you have to make in terms of bringing capital back and deploying it to its highest and best use here in the U.S.?
Well, for us, we make these enormous capital decisions globally all the time. And as everyone knows from Econ 101, capital is going to go where it gives you the best return. That's our job for our shareholders. It's not our money. It's our shareholders' money. And ultimately, what we see is that, what's gone on in the United States are the two things we've been talking about. First, regulations that are meant for one thing in reaction to one thing end up having implications in other places. And then what's also happened is that other countries have realized that it's a competitive world, and our rates didn't end up the highest because they started that way. But everybody else, even France, lowered their tax rates. And so in an effort to try to compete for capital, for jobs, for infrastructure, and for us, what we have to do is we have to decide where we have the best return. I can assure you, we're not in Ireland because of the weather. I'd love to have more of our money here. And, at this point, we have, very little of our actual cash here where we can truly invest it without it taking a massive, massive reduction in it. So when we plan globally, we need to know that things aren't going to constantly undermine our efforts, whether it's regulation, and we're not even a regulated company. There's no Federal Software Commission, and yet things like Sarbanes-Oxley, which were meant to stop fraud and, were actually a reaction to fraud, which violated old laws, has an impact on big companies like me. Let's say I can afford it. I can only imagine the impact it has on small companies when they're making their decisions.
Do you think, Safra, could you comment further, if there were, what would it be like for you in your boardroom making a decision about where to, put a plant or where to do a distribution facility and so forth if the U.S. corporate tax rate were lower? Is that an invitation? Am I overstating that, or is that as big of an impact as I think it is?
No, it's a huge deal, because remember, when we bring our money back, we would have to take a massive haircut for it. At a significantly lower rate, we would bring it in, it would be here, and instead of building what I believe to be the tallest skyscraper in Bucharest, Romania, we would have a plant, an additional facility here. So for us, these issues have massive impact on us. If we could both simplify the rules and actually make the United States actually competitive with the rest of the world, you would actually see some investment, some additional investment, a lot less cash sitting overseas.